Hey, today I got 3 simple tips for weight loss, especially if you're over 40, that will make it really easy for you to stay on plan. All right, so 3 tips for your weight loss plan. So the first one to actually implement, it's a simple one. It's not complicated. It's just to make changes slowly. So when it comes to jumping on a weight loss plan, a lot of times people will they'll go crazy. They want to make all these crazy changes right out of the gate. They have horrible habits to begin with where they're starting from, and then they try to implement this big, massive plan. It doesn't work. It's not going to be sustainable. So you want to make slow changes. You want to implement them slowly. So what I would recommend in this, for example, in this instance, it would be something like take 2 to 4 particular habits that you know that you need to change. Let's say you could pick 1 or 2 from nutrition, 1 or 2 from your workout, implementing that, or maybe it could be habits that you have around as simple as hydration, something like that. Simple habits, and implement slow changes with those. So, for example, let's talk about calories real quick. It's usually a pretty easy example. So, when it comes to calories, if you've decided like, all right, I've got to reduce my calories a little bit. So how am I going to go about that? What am I going to do? So once you have let's use round numbers. Let's say it was 2,000 calories and you got to reduce it to 1,600. So once you figure out how am I going to get 1,600 calories in, let's say that you say, well, I'm going to eat 4 times a day and I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to eat breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. Just a simple example. I'm not saying this is the way you should do it. It's just an example. So what you'd want to do here is say, okay, these simple things here. I'm going to take these 4 meals. That's the first thing I'm going to focus on. I'm going to figure out how I can actually get these 4 meals in a day and just make it so it fits into my lifestyle. It's something that I can do. You might need to make an adjustment with this too. So for example, these slow changes, you might find that you start implementing them and there's a little bit too difficult. So maybe you need 5 meals. Maybe you can only do 3 meals. You'll find that out as you go, but be willing to be flexible within the changes in the beginning. So that's the first thing is make slow changes. Don't try to do everything at once. Don't try to say, all right, I'm going to work out 5 days a week for an hour. I'm going to, reduce my calories to really low, and I'm going to make sure that I cut everything out and just go crazy like that. Don't do that. Make it slow. Make some slow changes that you can gradually improve on as you go. The next thing is probably like a simple thing to do. Sticking with the nutrition theme, this is where I usually start with people, is replace your food quality a little bit. You don't have to replace everything in the beginning, but start just trading out some foods that you know that you should probably say, I probably should take this particular, especially processed foods. I would take a look at like ultra processed foods. What do you have in your daily diet that's ultra processed? And I would pull those out. For example, like 1 or 2 to start with would be good. Replace them with a whole food. So it could be fruits, vegetables, it could be lean meats, whatever, however you want to replace those. But just take 1 or 2 foods that you know you need to replace that you got to kind of pull out that they're not serving you, they're not healthy. You can put something else in there better for you. So if you start with that, make it a slow change, and you'll gradually kind of increase that as you go. You'll start to pull out more foods that you should or eliminate and replace them with good ones. And that's one thing to keep in mind too. Whenever you're gonna make a change, whenever you're gonna pull something out or change a habit, you want to replace it with something. So that would apply in this instance too. So that's the second thing. You want to just start replacing foods. Processed foods would be a good start. And last thing is, I would look as you continue to kind of build on these. What I would look at is kind of I like to use in the beginning the 80-20 rule. If you can eat good, if you can eat good 80% of the time, so an 80-20, so 80% of the time you're on, 20% you're off here or there. You might have some treats, whatever. If you're 80% on with your workouts, you're getting them in, but 20% you're screwing up a little bit. I don't mean screwing up, that's a poor word choice there. I just mean maybe not getting it in. Start there, and then as you go, once you get a little bit more accustomed, you can kind of bump that to 90-10 when you really want to tighten things up. But you'll get in the beginning, when you're just starting out, if you just do 80%, stay on an 80% roll and just 20% off, 80-20 rule with this, you'll get good results. You'll have to tighten that up over time, but that will serve you for a good 6 to 12 weeks depending on who you are. Some people can ride that wave a little bit longer. Some people need to tighten up sooner. You need to kind of make that assessment as you go. If you stick to the 80-20 rule there, to say, hey, I need to be on target at least 80% of the time, and you leave that little 20% room, you'll be good in the beginning. You'll make changes. It'll help you kind of instill those habits, and you can continue to tighten those as you go. So there you go. Those are 3 tips for you that will make fat loss or weight loss that much easier. If you like this video, I have a quick favor to ask from you. If you could subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share with anyone that you think might benefit from the information provided in this video, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me get the message out to help more people with their health and fitness. Thank you very much.